Imagine a world where a farmer cannot save the seeds from his own harvest to plant them next year. A world where a single grain of corn contains a digital signature that belongs to a multi-billion-dollar corporation in Germany. This is not a dystopian novel. It is the intellectual property empire of Bayer Monsanto. By merging the world's largest seed producer with a global pharmaceutical giant, Bayer has created a biomonopoly that controls both the chemical inputs of our food and the medicines used to treat the resulting health conditions. Today, we are uncovering the Terminator technology and how the patenting of DNA turned the cycle of life into a recurring corporate subscription in 2026. The story of Monsanto began in 1901 as a chemical company, but their real power was born in the laboratory. They developed GMOs, genetically modified organisms, designed to resist their own toxic weed killer, Roundup. This was a masterstroke of vertical integration. They sold the poison and the only plant that could survive it. But the real trap wasn't the chemistry, it was the law. By changing the DNA of a seed, Monsanto claimed it was an invention, just like a software code or a mechanical engine. This allowed them to sue thousands of small farmers whose fields were accidentally contaminated by Monsanto's wind-blown pollen. They turned nature into a trespasser on its own land. The secret of Bayer Monsanto's dominance is biological dependency. They have successfully lobbied to ensure that traditional, ancient seeds are replaced by high-yield, patented versions. In places like India and South America, this has led to a seed dictatorship. Farmers who once relied on nature are now forced to sign restrictive contracts that forbid them from saving seeds. They must buy new ones every single year, along with the specific pesticides that only work with those seeds. It is a treadmill of debt that has led to a humanitarian crisis in rural communities across the globe. Bayer doesn't just want to be a supplier. They want to be the registry of life. The Roundup scandal is the greatest legal nightmare in corporate history. Despite paying over $10 billion in settlements to cancer victims, Bayer continues to defend the safety of glyphosate. Why? Because the entire business model depends on it. If the chemical is banned, the patented seeds lose their value. They are trapped in a sunk cost fallacy of global proportions. They use scientific ghostwriting and massive lobbying efforts to influence regulatory agencies in Washington and Brussels. They have successfully confused the public debate to ensure that the green revolution continues to be powered by their specific brand of chemistry. They have monetized the uncertainty of our health. Behind the scenes, the merger with Bayer has created a life cycle monopoly. This is the ultimate full-circle strategy. Bayer's agricultural division produces the chemicals and modified foods that are increasingly linked to metabolic and chronic diseases. Meanwhile, Bayer's pharmaceutical division produces the drugs that manage those same diseases. They own the cause, and they own the cure. This is not a conspiracy. It is a diversified portfolio. They have turned the human body and the global soil into two sides of the same profit-generating coin. They are the architects of a synthetic future where natural is a luxury that few can afford. In 2026, Bayer is moving into digital farming and CRISPR gene editing. They are using AI to map the genome of every plant on Earth, looking for new traits to patent. They want to be the Google of biology, where every biological process requires a license. They are experimenting with biological sensors in soil that report directly to their servers, telling them exactly how much of their product you need to use. They are removing the human element from farming, replacing the wisdom of the peasant with the algorithm of the corporation. They have proved that if you can own the code of life, you own the life itself. The true reach of Bayer Monsanto is invisible. You won't see their logo on your grocery store shelves, but their DNA is in your bread, your oil, and your meat. They have successfully integrated themselves into the very building blocks of our existence. They have made themselves too vital to fail. They are the reminder that the most dangerous monopolies are not those that control our money, but those that control our nutrition. They have successfully commodified the 4 billion years of evolution that preceded them. Today, Bayer Monsanto is a symbol of corporate scientism, the belief that nature is a problem that only a patent can solve. They have survived global protests and historic lawsuits by being the backbone of the industrial food system. They know that as long as the population grows, the demand for their optimized life will never go away. And you? Have you ever thought about who owns the DNA of the apple you are eating or the corn in your cereal? Do you think life can truly be an invention owned by a corporation, or are we witnessing the greatest theft of common heritage in history? Subscribe to Global Titans now and hit the bell, because in our next video we are going to talk about Unilever and the illusion of choice that hides 400 brands behind a single heart-shaped logo. Are you ready to see how your morning routine is a corporate trap? The system is watching you, and we show you the code. Until the next corporate secret, are you ready for what's coming? The harvest is being monitored,